Hello, I'm a nostalgia critic. I remember it so you don't have to. Believe it or not, there was an age when Michael Jackson was a god. His songs were smash hits, his dancing was beyond compare, and women fainted at just the sight of him rather than fainting at just the sight of him. So, at the top of his reign, Michael Jackson released his cinematic opus, Moonwalker. A strange little ego trip that shows us that not only does Jackson know how to sing and dance, but actually that's it, sing and dance. Because clearly he doesn't know how to tell a story, keep focus, or pull us in by any emotional means. Instead, we get sort of a photo album of his table scraps that mostly looks like scenes that would have been edited out of much better music videos. What do I mean by all this? Well, let's venture into this little amusement park of awkwardness to find out. First off, why is it called Moonwalker anyway? I mean, yeah, he does the dance move a few times, but there's no real focus on it. You could have just as easily called it crotch grab and it would have made just as much sense. So we see the world's first universal answer to every joke ever written, Michael Jackson. We catch him at that stage where he wasn't really a good-looking black man anymore, but at least he was a halfway decent-looking white man. We see him performing at a concert singing about how we can all change the world. And apparently, all of the world leaders buy Jackson's plea for world peace. I am in total support of Michael Jackson. Ich bin ein Michael Jackson.
You know, Michael Jackson made this all possible.
I have a dream to support Michael Jackson's dream.
Make that change.
I believe you can change. Your plastic surgery operations have clearly shown that. So, okay, we get a bit of him performing. Now what? Oh, we see pictures of him performing. Alright.
For such a long time. Now
okay, so we've seen pictures of him performing. Now what? Oh, we get freakish animations of him performing. That's nice. And they turn into the California Raisins for some reason. When did the Michael Jackson performances suddenly turn to the Monty Python cartoons? Michael Jackson's Flying Circus. So, okay, we get animations of him performing. I must ask again, what's next? Oh, we get a montage of him performing. Wow, he's just so humble about his fame. It's like he doesn't even know that he's famous. Oh, Michael, please, don't be so modest. Indulge yourself a bit. I don't think the image of you as a shining golden messiah is strong enough. Don't you have any oceans of water to walk on, or dead people to resurrect? I mean, come on, splurge a little. I especially like this picture of him and E.T., which is almost looking like a before and after picture. Yes, we get it! Michael Jackson is awesome! Please shut up! Yes, raping the asphalt is cool now. If you did it, it must be cool. Please contribute something more other than your ego. I'm just showing you how secure I am in my levels of confidence. Because that's what they call me. They call me very secure. If they were to name an airport after me, they would call it Michael Secure Jackson Airport. That's what they call me. In fact, that's what they call me right now. Michael Secure Jackson Airport. The airport, it's just people just love how secure I am. I am so secure. Very, very, very secure. Kill me. So, and I'm not kidding here, after 20 minutes of just watching his self-indulgent clips, we finally get some new material. No, please, I think there was a Pepsi commercial you might have missed. So we jump to a strange recut of his famous Bad music video, except this time it's done with little children instead of adults. I guess this is supposed to be charming, but I don't know. This seems kind of like the male equivalent of the Little Miss pageants. It's more creepy than it is endearing. There's even a scene where the kid accidentally grabs his balls too hard. Why would you even make that joke? That's like a joke I would make. Except when I make it, it's funny. When you make it, it's unnaturally disturbing.
Who's bad? Who's bad? Who's bad? Who's bad? Who's bad?
Who's bad? Who's bad? I'll tell you who's bad. Little kids who wear hair gel and dance around like adult ballerinas. That's bad, motherfucker! So they exit the scene trying to have some normal conversation, but even that comes off as a little abnormal.
Is Bubbles in my trailer?
Yes, sir.
What is he wearing?
He's wearing a Prince t-shirt and red sneakers.
He just asked what a monkey was wearing. So we see them leave the studio as a cloud of smoke for some reason transforms them into adults. Because Jackson wills it, I guess. We then see a tour bus filled with what looks like Davey and Goliath's satanic replacements.
Look, Granny! Michael Jackson!
And believe it or not, this is where it gets strange. Jackson is chased by a bunch of stop-motion fans, including the Noid. I don't know, Jackson wills it! As he interrupts a western being shot by an impatient director who also seems to be animated in stop-motion.
I'm sorry.
My producer's doing this to me, isn't he? I asked for a bad guy, and he gives me Michael Jackson!
Boy, George Lucas was high-strung in his early years. So they chase him into a makeup trailer where Jackson finds the perfect disguise to sneak out of. The Easter Bunny version of Joe Camel. Of course!
The door's opening! Make sure you're focused!
Yeah, what's up, douche?
Of course, the clay puppets fall for the trick as nobody seems to see past the disguise.
There he is. What, behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit.
So we see this musical chase scene as all the stop-motion characters ride after Michael. But Michael fools them by shape-shifting into several different characters, like a construction worker, Tina Turner, and even Pee Wee Herman.
This is crack.
You know, they really should have called this Mindfucker as opposed to Moonwalker. That would have been more accurate. So he loses Gumby's gangbangers as he decides to finally take off the costume. But it turns out the costume wants to dance. Sure, why not? Yes, I forgot. This is the guy who made crotch grabbing outside the house popular. But a cop notifies him that there's no Michael Jacksoning in these parts and is forced to write a ticket.
It's because I'm black, isn't it?
You're black?
And just before he leaves, the face of his bunny pal appears to say farewell. Why? Why? You really gonna bother to ask why in this movie? We then cut to the next segment, which is probably the funniest in my opinion. It's another strange music video with all sorts of surreal images, but the name of the song is entitled Leave Me Alone. Are you serious? You just spent the first half of this movie pleading for attention, begging people to look at you and acknowledge you as some sort of musical god, and now you're suddenly telling people to leave you alone? What did the aliens do to your brain anyway? I guess this is a response to all the newspaper tabloids that were written about him at the time. I especially like it when he constantly sings the line, I don't care what you think.
I don't care what you talking about, baby. I don't care what you...
That's right, I don't care what you think. As this incredibly expensive musical representation of a middle finger clearly shows.
Just leave me alone.
Michael, we would love to leave you alone. But you just make it so constantly difficult that it's pretty much impossible! It's like a train wreck that you're told to ignore! It's simply not gonna happen! So we cut to probably the most famous part of the movie. You know, the portion that has that whole Spielberg Zemeckis life feel to it. And I have to say, this is easily the best part of the movie, because it starts off with Michael Jackson's best scene. People trying to kill him. We will destroy you before you make Captain EO! But boy, howdy, how did all this insanity start? Well, one of Michael's many children friends cuts into a flashback to show us how this all began. This takes place in the salad days, when Michael was allowed to be around children.
The hills are alive with the sound of Jamon!
You see Michael playing in the hills of perfect Topia when their dog suddenly wanders off into the forest. So Michael and one of the kids go searching for him. And then it goes Raiders of the Lost Ark on us for some reason as Michael stumbles onto a secret bad location.
Senor, nobody's come out of there alive.
It turns out they've come across an evil gang of drug dealers. Because, yeah, all drug dealers do their evil plotting in the middle of the fucking forest, don't they?
We can't be doing that.
I want every kid in this whole world to take drugs because of me. Because of me. I want everybody to know. Everybody. My name is going to be in the history books. They better spell my name right.
That poor peacock with leukemia is actually Joe Pesci, playing the sinister role of, well, let's face it, Joe Pesci. His evil plan is to get all the little children in the world completely high on drugs. Why? Because there's nothing else Joe Pesci can do on a Saturday night, I guess.